Good morning. First, I'd like to thank Brian Flores for all that he's done for the Miami Dolphins. He's a very good man, and I wish him the best. And I'm sure we'll see him again as an NFL coach.
Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we are going to be talking about Brian Flores and his surprise firing from the Miami Dolphins and why that firing was actually kind of justified. But before we hop into the content of today's video, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're about 25 subscribers away from 2,000. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And with all that being said, let's hop into the video about Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. It was reported about a week ago from Adam Schefter that Brian Flores is out as the Dolphins head coach, sources tell ESPN. He quote tweeted that and said Dolphins GM Chris Grier is safe, per sources, but Dolphins are moving on from head coach Brian Flores. The Dolphins provided a lengthy statement on their social media saying the Miami Dolphins announced today the head coach Brian Flores has been relieved of his duties. Flores completed his third season as a head coach with a 24-25 record. It stated, "I made a decision today to part ways with Brian Flores," said Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross. "After evaluating where we are as an organization and what we need going forward to improve, I determined that key dynamics of our football organization weren't functioning at a level I wanted to be and felt that this decision was in the best interest of the Miami Dolphins. I believe we have a talented young roster in place and have the opportunity to be much better in 2022. I want to thank Brian for his hard work and wish him nothing but the best in his future." And a little bit after that statement went public, Brian Flores released a statement of his own. "I want to thank the Miami Dolphins organization for the opportunity to be the head coach of this football team the last 3 years. It was an honor to represent the franchise and lead this group of men. I am grateful most of all for the players, coaches, and support staff who gave everything that they had on a daily basis to help us win games. They deserve the credit for any success on the field, and it was the honor of a lifetime for me to go to work with them every day. I've always believed that leadership is really about service, and I did my best to serve the players, the staff, and the organization every day. I believe in this team and will always value the relationships my family and I made here." Pretty sweet stuff. I think every time a coach is fired, a team and coach release a statement very similar to that, very generic, thanking, the team for their time and, the coach for their service. So nothing really was surprising from those statements. I just wanted that to be, the beginning of the video and kind of segue into the actual reasons why Flores was actually let go from the Dolphins. And there's a handful of reasons why. If you're a fan of a team that doesn't really pay attention to the Dolphins, I can see why this firing is a little bit out of the blue and why you may even see it as a bad firing. But as more information has come out about the Dolphins and Flores, it kind of makes more sense as to why the Dolphins went this direction, and maybe after all, it could be better for the team. For starters, Flores had a very hard time hiring an offensive staff. It might be hard to believe, but in his 3 years with the Miami Dolphins, he hired 4 offensive coordinators. Chad O'Shea, he brought with him from New England, was the offensive coordinator in year 1. Chan Gailey was the offensive coordinator in year 2. In year 3, he hired co-offensive coordinators in George Godsey and Eric Studesville. So that is 4 OCs that he hired in his first 3 years. Quarterback coach Charlie Fry, who they brought in this year, he was actually calling plays for the Dolphins the first couple of weeks of the season. You have 2 offensive coordinators, and they're not even filling the role of a coordinator. You have a quarterback coach who has never called plays in the NFL, calling plays for your quarterback, and that is just not an area of success, especially when you have, 2 guys already doing one man's job with offensive coordinators, and you don't even have one of them calling plays. It just didn't make any sense at all. To make matters worse, he hired 3 different offensive lineman coaches in each of his first 3 years as well, and none of those guys turned out good. You can look at the performance on the field. The Dolphins' offensive line was one of the worst every single year that Flores was here in Miami, and the talent available that the coaches had to work with definitely plays a factor into that. But when you have so many young guys, you really need somebody to coach them up and get them acclimated towards the NFL, and the coaches really had a hard time doing that, the ones that Flores hired to develop the young offensive linemen. So that was Flores' really biggest issue as far as, an actual coach on the field. I think he was a really good defensive mind. The Dolphins always had a pretty good defense. I just think his inability to hire a staff and fix the offense really is what hurt him as a coach, and it really hurt the team from reaching, their success. The second big piece of it is his relationships with others in the building, including the GM Chris Grier and quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. it became pretty apparent to Dolphin fans that Flores and Tua had a rocky relationship. It's been reported that Flores was the one that was leading the Deshaun Watson train, and if I was in Tua's shoes, I could see how that wouldn't really sit right with me, with Flores openly going after another quarterback and showing really no support for his starter in Tua. When he was asked about the Deshaun Watson rumors, he would just say Tua is our quarterback, not showing any sign of real belief or wanting Tua in any certain way. A snippet came out via the Sun Sentinel that during halftime of the Week 16 loss to the Titans, Tagovailoa claimed that Flores doesn't know how to talk to people, and Flores meanwhile reportedly said he needed better effing play from the quarterback. And I think this has been a little bit overblown. I think quarterbacks and coaches and really players in general, they have these type of arguments, during tough moments of the season or a game. But I do think that could show the smaller picture of what their relationship was like. I think these blowups might have been, a common thing, and their disagreements and not a lot of good feelings for one another, kind of contributed to Flores being fired. Personally, I was pretty surprised Flores got fired, but I had the mindset that both of them were not going to be back. I thought their public relationship was pretty bad, and it must have been much worse privately, but I just thought that there's no way that these guys are going to be able to work together again. And so once Flores kind of got fired, I kind of put the pieces together that Tua will be returning for the Dolphins, and all the reports so far tend in that direction that Tua will be the guy going forward for the Dolphins. And really, the last piece I want to touch on is Flores didn't really talk to his staff starting in Thanksgiving. Apparently, he just really was not communicating well with others in the building, and all these certain issues are the reason why he was let go. I know some people are really big fans of Flores, and I do think he's a great defensive mind, but I do think he has trouble building staffs and getting along with people and developing young players, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And Jeff Darlington pretty much summed up what I've been talking about, and he said the decision to fire Flores can be summed up with one word: relationships. His relationship with Green and Tua had deteriorated to a pretty bad place. Along with constant staff changes, owner Stephen Ross no longer saw Flores as a healthy fit in Miami. The media has kind of stated Flores as some very spectacular coach, and although I think he's a great defensive mind, I don't think he was a Vince Lombardi type coach where it's just unbelievable that he was let go. 3 years as the head coach, no playoff appearances, and a losing record. I think he was a solid coach, but nothing where it's like unbelievable that the Dolphins let him go. But now the Dolphins need to hire his replacement, and there's a few options out there, but Jim Harbaugh does not seem to be one of the options. Jeff Darlington reported, while I realize many are assuming Flores' departure is tied to Harbaugh's potential availability, I can assure you that is not the case. The Dolphins are not targeting Jim Harbaugh per sources. The decision to fire Flores is entirely independent. And there's been a lot of reports out there of, a young offensive mind that the Dolphins could go after, like a Brian Dable or a Mike McDaniel from the 49ers. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I think Dable is the favorite right now. He coached Tua at Alabama his freshman year, and he's had a pretty good track record the last few years with Buffalo and kind of turning Josh Allen's career around. But we will see what direction the Miami Dolphins go, and if this decision to fire Brian Flores comes back to haunt them, or if it was really in the best interest of the team. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think of the firing, and if this video kind of changed your perception and view on if Flores should have been fired or not. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.